And Mary's not going to be with us, I don't think, today. She is traveling in the East. So we're going to have to go solo without her. So thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Let's see if I can get this started. Can you hear it? I hope Mary is someplace sunny and warm with maybe a beach view today. Okay, our invocation this morning is Mark Sandifer.
Yep. Okay, we get started with our prayer. Bow your heads. I want to have several things that we're grateful for. One thing that we're grateful for, the spring weather starting to come our way. We're looking forward to being able to. Also, we're grateful for the coronavirus vaccine getting distributed and people being able to get their immunizations, and hoping that that will also lead to future ability to gatherings, and also for us to be able to actively work on our community services. So there are things that we are grateful for, and we hope that we continue to gather. We appreciate having Zoom and being able to do this virtually, but we look forward to some point in the future being able to get together more often in person. So thank you for being with us and helping us through things. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mark.
Mm-hmm.
Our pledge this morning in 4HS is Scott Mullins.
If you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And the four-way test of the things that we think, say, or do. First, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you, Scott. Okay, announcements this morning. First, I want to welcome Kimberly Sutton. And that's the one guest I saw. Is there anybody else I've missed? Thank you, everybody, for being here, and welcome, Kimberly. Next is going to be March birthdays. Holly.
Good morning, everybody. And we have, since we don't have our drum roll, we're going to go and say, hey, it's birthday time. So our March birthdays are March 4th, me. All right, March 6th, Nate Strong. March 8th, Katie Kimberling.
Woo!
Yeah, March 21st, Joan Barker. And March 28th, Sandra Longcrier. So we have birthdays, and so can we all sing happy birthday? Take it off mute and we'll just sound horrible. Let's just sing, okay? All right. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rotarian. Happy birthday to you.
Hey, you all sounded good.
Who was that was bringing home the bass?
It's probably my husband who sang along with us.
That was good. That was deep.
Good. All right. drawing out of my little bear bowl. We have two drawings, first of all, for the $25 Hal Smith gift certificate. And then the $100 that goes toward the into the Rotary Foundation. Okay, all right, here we go. And Katie Kimmerling for the $25 gift certificate.
Hey,
Congratulations. Woohoo. And now for the $100 toward the Rotary Foundation is Sandra Longcrier. Is she here today?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. And well, we got two people. I'll only be one. Joan Barker.
All right.
Yeah, Joe.
Congratulations and happy birthday to you and
Happy birthday.
everybody else. So thank you all.
Yes, happy birthday, happy March birthday. Okay, speaking of happy, does anybody have happy dollars this morning?
well, I do.
Okay, Mark?
Well, I think, fortunately, this past week, I had my second coronavirus vaccine, so I've gotten that out of the way. And I was fortunate. I feel like I did it through the lab, their services that they were doing, and that worked out really well.
Great. Thanks. Jane?
I've got a happy dollar as well. So my happy dollar is because today I get my second vaccine shot. So I'm excited about that. Again, through Emmy and Norman Public Schools and that type of thing. So that's my happy dollar.
Yay. Anybody else? Along those same lines, I'll give a happy dollar because I get my vaccine tomorrow. So yay, I was happy to be able to get it scheduled that quickly here in Norman. So I'm very excited about that. Any other happy dollars? Vaccine or non-vaccine related? Okay.
Well, I'll throw in the second dollar because it sounds like RILA is going to happen this year. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
So I'm
That's-
super excited for us to start doing some of our more like traditional type of Rotary activities and
Most
support those
definitely.
programs.
I know that was a big gap last year. I know. And unfortunately, just like everything else, there was a lot of teenagers who missed out on an opportunity that they should have had, just like graduations and proms and everything else. But glad we're looking forward to this year. So the next thing is the district service project. Just keep it on your calendar for April 24th. Remember to send your nominations for a local nonprofit to Jane, and then we'll be selecting our nonprofit soon and start our efforts to collect items for that project. So does anyone else have any announcements that I've missed this morning? Haven't seen David Imee on here, but I know he was circulating bylaws for the satellite club, and I think they're voting on those maybe by tomorrow, and then those will be submitted to our club, to the full club for approval. So that should be coming up. So, okay, let's just move along then. This morning, our program is our foundation chair for the district, Phil Moss. And a lot of you already know Phil. But for those who don't, I'm going to tell you a little bit from the bio if you didn't get a chance to read the newsletter. Phil first became a Rotarian in 1982 as a member of the Altus Rotary Club. He was part of the Norman Rotary Club from 2007 to 2015, during which time he was district governor for our district from 2012 to 2013. He is currently a member of the Cross Timbers Rotary Club here in Norman as well as his wife, Peggy, is also a member of that club. Phil spent 40 years in higher education, serving on the campus level, the state level, and regional level from 1996 to 2007. He was on the executive staff of the State Regents of Oklahoma for higher education. He was the vice chancellor for academic affairs and interim chancellor. He retired from the Regents in 2007 and served as a consultant to the California State University Office of the Chancellor, the South Regional Education Board, and the Colorado Department of Higher Education. He holds his master's in education and his doctorate from the University of Oklahoma. He's native from Oklahoma and grew up in Edmond. And as I mentioned, he's married to Peggy, and he has two. He enjoys being grandfather to two 7-year-old grandchildren. And his rock band, which I looked you guys up online, are you it's called the Bulldogs or the Old Bulldogs, Phil?
Yeah, the Old Bulldog Band. So we're all graduates of Edmond High School, which was home of the Bulldogs. And we all are old, so it's the Old Bulldog Band.
And you guys play 60s and 70s music.
Yeah.
Thing. That's great. Well, welcome, Phil. And I'll let you take over from here.
Thanks. And thanks for inviting me to be a part of the program. I'm not going to be sharing a screen with you. I'm doing this with different clubs, and the capabilities are, shall I say, uneven. And so I think if you can just, look at the background or just listen if you get tired of looking at me. Most of you know, and particularly in this club, you know that a tradition in our district is to celebrate our Rotary Foundation with a banquet. We used to do that jointly with the district to the north of us. Lately, we've been kind of doing our own. And I guess it's been, what, a year and a half maybe, when we gathered at the National Weather Center. And how many of y'all, let me see a show of hands, were at that banquet? I know CE was, because he was taking pictures, but many of you were. And just as a reminder, it was kind of like the Academy Awards, where the Sooner Rotary Club was sweeping all the awards. So you guys were up and down and coming to the front and getting recognized constantly. It was a great evening for your club and for the district. Well, so we weren't able to do that this last November. And so I decided, well, I needed to kind of recreate that experience so that we could recognize clubs and Rotarians for their support of the foundation, even though we can't physically be together. And rather than wait until next November, which, by the way, if we did that, then to recognize everybody over a 2-year period and the clubs over a 2-year period, you know, it would have been a 4-hour event or something like that. So that wouldn't be good. Plus, my tenure as Rotary Foundation Chair for the district ends on June 30th. So I wanted to be a part of the recognitions. So in lieu of a foundation, so I'm pretending like this is the foundation banquet. I'm wearing my tuxedo. You can pretend I have a plate of chicken in front of me with mashed potatoes and green beans. I don't have a glass of wine. It's too early for that, but I do have a Rotary coffee cup that I was drinking out of. So I just wanted, particularly with this club, what you've done with the foundation is commendable, and I wanted to recognize you. Let me remind everybody first, though, about what the mission of the foundation is, our foundation. It's to enable Rotarians to advance world understanding, goodwill, peace, to the improvement of health, support of education, and alleviation of poverty. The key part of that is the first part. The mission is to enable Rotarians. So the Rotary Foundation, we don't give money to other people to do service. we enable Rotarians to do good in the world. Water projects, education and literacy, maternal and child health. And it's Rotarians who apply for these grants that we support. So I think that's a pretty big distinction and something that's really commendable. And what we do with those, the funds that are contributed, I mentioned the grants, and those are both global as well as district grants. And our district grants chair, Jennifer, I saw you earlier. There's too many people. There she is up in my corner anyway. She's involved in that. And we do great things across our district, certainly here in Cleveland County, and the activities that your club has promoted in terms of, helping parts of our community that need help, whether it's food and shelter for friends or young people at Bridges, and other clubs across the district do the same thing, providing warm coats for kids that need them, or dictionaries, or just a variety of things. And certainly the global grants, we do all kinds of great things as well. We've got a number of Rotarians who are looking into possible global grants to support projects in Africa or in South America. We also sponsor global scholars. And I think Carly Wright was one of your program guests in the recent past. She is really impressive and a great representative of what Rotary is about in terms of developing leaders. She was youth exchange. She is now actually over in Bologna, is involved in their Rotaract Club. So it's great that we've had this Global Scholar this year, which is the first we've had in like 7 years. So again, with the resources that the foundation collects, go to doing good in different ways. We also have what is called a disaster relief fund. And in the last year, with the pandemic, the Rotary Foundation trustees agreed to give out grants to support pandemic efforts worldwide. Those grants were up to $25,000. And I'm pleased to report that our district applied, and special thanks to District Governor, still nominee, Connie, for her work on that effort. We partnered with the Regional Food Bank of Oklahoma, identified there were 10 different communities in our district that have school pantries that the food bank supports. And so we worked with them and said, what would it take to feed, to do 6 months of the school food pantries for those 10 schools, or 10 communities? It's more than 10 schools. So we did a lot of math and came up with a plan, and it was a phenomenal project. As most of you know, food insecurity is an issue in normal times for some kids, but particularly during this time, it's been crucial. So just a quick report. So I mentioned $25,000. That actually provided food to almost 1,000 students across our district, 83,000 pounds of food, almost 70,000 meals. And that's in 10 different communities. Norman, interestingly, almost 2/3 of the funds were spent to support kids in Norman. So almost at 289 students in Norman served through this. So again, great effort by the Rotary Foundation to promote doing good in the world during this time. And then also, even, I guess Mary's not on here, but Mary Salee is, as you know, is our district polio chair. And just a word about polio, we continue to get close. And we had 140 cases worldwide in 2020. That was down from 2019, the numbers of 176 this year. And so Nigeria was also declared polio free. So the continent of Africa is polio free. We're now only in 2 countries. Who can name them? Everybody's muted, so I'm going to assume everybody gives the correct answer, which is Afghanistan and Pakistan. And I just looked at the report as of February 24th. How many do you suppose wild polio cases do we have so far in 2021? Unfortunately, it's not 0,
20?
but it's much less than 20.
Oh, good.
How about 2?
2? Wow.
There's been 1 case in Pakistan, 1 case in Afghanistan. Now, we would hope that those numbers stay where they are. You know, realistically, that's not likely, but here we are, you know, at the end of February now and the 1st of March, and to only have 1 case in each of those countries is phenomenal. So we're really doing good. By the way, Rotary's infrastructure that was set up to deal with polio has been also helpful in countries dealing with the pandemic. So all the things that we've learned doing the vaccinations for polio and the infrastructure and the processes and resources have been applied in many cases to help support that effort. So that's why we call it Polio Plus. It's not just polio that we help with. So we do all these good things, but we're only able to do those through contributions from Rotarians like yourself. And this club, as I mentioned, kind of sets the bar for our district in terms of support. So first, let me congratulate you for being the top club in the district in 2019-2020 in terms of support to the polio fund. $5,834, which is phenomenal. So I'm going to applaud you for that. But I'd also like to recognize your club as being the #1 club in the district in 2019-2020 in overall support of the annual fund, which is the fund that we use to support grants. So that year, $19,025. Congratulations, great job, Sooner Rotarians, #1 in the district. And I might add, #2 in the district in terms of per capita, that is average giving among all your members. So that is phenomenal. Your club has 80% of your members are Paul Harris Fellows, which is, again, incredible. So far this year, I just would mention that your annual fund giving is $9,394. Actually, that number is up a little bit because there have been some contributions in the last 24 hours, I know. And so you're maybe about halfway from where you've typically been. The 4-year average for this club is right at around $19,000, a little less than $20,000. So let me encourage you to finish strong. And now I'd like to recognize some individuals for their support. I would mention, and I didn't see them on the call, and again, there are so many of you, you don't all fit on one screen, and it's hard for me to see you all there, but this, since the last Rotary Foundation banquet, so I look at who's achieved new recognitions since that time. And your club has 2 new Paul Harris Fellows, first-time Paul Harris Fellows. And those are Peggy Ferris and Andrea Green. And I didn't see, oh, no, is that right?
Neither one are here. No.
Okay, I didn't, oh, you were just celebrating. Katie was just celebrating that by doing that. She wasn't saying, yay me. So congrats to those. And then we've also, in the last, since the last recognition, we've got 3 members of your club that achieved Paul Harris Fellow +2, and they are Jane Purcell. Jane, I know you're there. Congratulations. Susan Whitenack
He's here.
and Cliff Thomas. So congratulations to you 3. See, the thing about this is you don't have to get up and walk anywhere to get the recognition. You can just stay seated on your couch. Paul Harris Fellow +3, Jonna Buck. Congratulations. A Paul Harris Fellow +5, and they're both, I think, on this call. And on my screen, they're next to each other, interestingly. Jack Beller and Michael Ridgway. Congratulations, gentlemen. And then I know that he's not on this call this morning, but a Paul Harris Fellow +6, David Ivey. Now there are a couple of other Rotarians that I need to recognize because in anticipation of being with you, I looked over to see how close people were to certain levels of recognition and reached out and said, hey, you're really close. If you would make a contribution, we could recognize you. And so let me point those out. John Sparks, with contribution made within the last 24 hours, became a Paul Harris Fellow +1. Thank you, John. And also becoming the Paul Harris Fellow +2, Terry Boer. Thank you, Terry. So great job. Now, I will say there are probably a dozen members of your club that are less than $300 from the next level. So let me encourage all of your members to take a look at where your contributions are, or maybe you don't even have to look. Maybe you think, I need to support our foundation a little bit more. By the way, if you ever have any questions about your giving and where you stand, please let me know. I'd be happy to share that with you. And then there are some Rotarians in your club that I want to mention that are members of the Paul Harris Society. Paul Harris Society members agree to contribute $1,000 per year to our foundation, and it's a great way to support. So there are 8 members of your club that are Paul Harris Society members. So let me recognize them and thank them. Keith Busking, thank you, Keith. Bob Dill, thank you, Governor. Connie Eckstein, why do I started to just say, well, and our district governor nominee, Connie, and just leave it out, but thank you, Connie. Linda Holt, thank you, Linda. Michael Ridgway. And we've already mentioned Mary Salee is not on the call with us, but on the call, I do see past District Governor David Shirley. Thank you, David. And also past District Governor Glenda Thomas. Now, in addition to those, there are a number of your club that could be eligible for Paul Harris Society just based on past giving. So if you're interested in being a part of the Paul Harris Society, I hope everyone would consider that if it's within your means, to please let me or your club president know. Now, $1,000 a year when I was first in Rotary would have been impossible. I mean, it was a struggle for me sometimes to be a Paul Harris sustaining member of $100 a year. But that's one of the great things about Rotary Direct is you can sign up, and $84 a month is not out of reach for me in my current situation. So please give it a thought. But if that's not, any gift to the foundation, $25, whatever, is helpful. I mean, we can do things. So I want to encourage everyone to be a part of our foundation. It really is worthy of support, transforms people's lives, makes the world a better place. You can't find a better place to support. Charity Navigator has given it 4 stars, 11 years in a row. That's unheard of. Our score is over 99 out of 100. It's been named one of the top 10 foundations or charities everyone's heard of. Really, they're just, you can't find a more worthy. I mean, they're highly rated for transparency and also for the financial stewardship that the foundation has. So let me just close by saying we do great things in our communities and around the world through our foundation. And it's through the contributions like yourself and members of your club that we're able to do those things. So if you've not been a supporter of the foundation, and there are a few in your club that have not yet done that, let me encourage you. If you have been and continue to be, thank you. Wouldn't hurt to kind of take a look and see if you can increase that. That would be good. Any little bit would help. And again, contact me if you ever have any questions about your donations or your recognitions or anything related to the foundation. I used to have a pretty easy email address to give, but I cut the cord last fall and I lost my Cox email address as a result. So now my email is pkmoss13. 13 is my lucky number, M is the 13th letter. So pkmoss13@gmail.com if you would want to reach out to me. So with that, John, I would turn it back to you. If there are any questions, be happy to answer them.
Yes. Does anyone have any questions about the foundation or the work that's done or how to give more easily?
I would just add too, Phil, for those of you that are still working, bless your hearts, that you look with your company to see if they have matching for Rotary Foundation, because I was able to match my donations when I worked at Boeing, and and that added to the foundation as well.
And this wouldn't apply to everyone in the club, but it would apply to some. If you're 70 years old, you can also give to the foundation directly from some of your retirement accounts, and it doesn't get taxed. You can make those contributions directly from those retirement accounts easily and efficiently. But you do have to be well, I'm not quite there, but I had a birthday last month and I'm 1 year away from it. Okay, I'll put it that way. Any other questions?
Bill, Bob Dill, I just wanted you to know how much I enjoy these black tie events.
Good job. Yeah, I see that. Kind of an interesting look of the hybrid.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wanted to be appropriately attired for this event. Yes.
Okay. All right. I'll salute you.
Bill, doesn't the Rotary Foundation have like the highest rating as far as charities go?
Well, the 4 stars, you can't get any higher than that. But in terms of the percentage numbers, we're at 99 point, let me see, 0.4 out of 100. And there are a few charities that score 100. But really, if you look at that list, none of them are the scale and scope of the Rotary Foundation. So really, even if you look at this top 10 foundations everyone's heard of, not everybody's heard of them, but the Rotary Foundation, in terms of its size and its reach, I really don't think anybody does it better than we do.
No, that's sometimes a concern with people that they might be lining the pockets of the people in charge, and so that's comforting to know.
Yeah, that's been kind of when we talk about the Global Scholarship, which is a great $30,000 scholarship to study overseas, unfortunately, with the changes that we made where Rotaractors are now considered Rotarians, Rotaractors are not eligible to be a Global Scholar because they're Rotarians, and we can't feather our own nest. We can't give scholarships to each other, that kind of a thing. But they can still certainly communicate the opportunity to to their friends who might be interested and be qualified for it.
Are there any other questions for Phil?
Well, I do look forward to, the time when we can gather face to face, and it's hard for me to think about, meeting with the Sooner Club without eating bacon.
Right. Anybody else have any discussion topics, or shall we can end this meeting just a little bit early today?
Oh, I see David Shirley has also joined the Bow Tie Society.
Hey, Phil, this is Dick Pryor. It's not really a question as much as a suggestion. One of the things that we've learned over the course of this year is how valuable these kinds of remote meetings can be. You can also overdose on them, as we've also learned. But you talked about the Rotary clubs that have uneven capacity and capabilities. And I would just say that I would hope going forward, as we continue to evolve and modernize, that perhaps there's some way to encourage clubs to spend a little bit of time and money and allow themselves the opportunity to do this kind of meeting if need be. And it may not be anything that they want to do on a regular basis, but one of the things that we've found is that you can have really great guests. You can meet some people that you've never had a chance to see before or hear from before, and you can, if you can do it this way.
Yeah, that's a great point. And I guess I should be a stronger advocate for that. I mean, a lot of my career in higher education was promoting the use of technology in education and distance
Yes.
learning. So, yeah, good thoughts.
I thought for that reason, you might be a good person to present that idea to.
Yeah, I was the voice of him crying in the wilderness back in the day.
Yeah.
All right. Any other comments or questions?
Bill,
Well,
great
thank-
job.
Yes.
Can we tell our club how we can give? You can either give it through your dues or the easier way is to go to Rotary International and sign up for a recurring donation or a one-time donation, however you want to do it. Very easy.
Yeah, in fact, and Terry, are you still on the call? There you are. Did you go online and make that? And so yeah, my Rotary, you log in, there's a donate button, and it'll tell you what to do after that. It makes it easy. And again, signing up for Rotary Direct, where you can do either a automatic draw out of a bank account or from a credit card, really makes it easy to do.
We have a link. We have a link at the top of our website to donate, and it takes you straight there.
Of course, if you want to write a check to the Rotary Foundation and mail it to me, I'll see that it gets there too.
Me too.
It's sort of like we tell our young people at work with their 401k is just start with an amount, any amount, and then each year just add a few dollars, and before you know it, it's significant. So thank you everybody for being here today and for contributing and for welcoming Phil. And I'd say go out and have a great week and open the opportunities. We're going to end the meeting just a little bit early, so have a great week.
Thanks, Phil.
Jack Beller, I have your pen.
Well, it's good to see everyone. Good to be with you. Have a great day.
Good to see you,
Thanks,
Phil.
Phil.
Thanks, Phil. Good seeing you.
Thank you so much, and congratulations to all the Paul Harris amazing people. Have a great week.
Yeah.